Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Ninja Habits Daily Huddle, where we meet up to go over our Ninja Selling Daily 5 Habits. And we will be going over gratitude and affirmations. We will actually be doing these together this morning. We're also going to plan our day, be on purpose, be intentional. We're going to write our 2 note cards, and also we will be focusing on our hot and warm list. And because it is Wednesday, we have a focus today on our customer service calls, the importance of those, and why we do them. And for those of you who haven't done them or don't know what they are, you'll get a brief introduction into that this morning. So I hope you guys are having a great start to your Wednesday. We're officially midway through the first week of March. Hope that you guys are sticking with your to-dos and the top things that you have put in front of you for this week. But let's start off as we always do with our gratitudes and share something that you're grateful for this morning in the chat. And we would love to hear that and encourage yourself and others in the process. So I will share. I'm grateful we went through our first day of the conference here that we're at in no, Louisville, Kentucky for the Real Estate Distilled Conference. And yesterday was a focus on indie brokerages, which that's what my husband and I own. And so it was just, we had a lot of fun meeting other indie brokers and learning the whole day and getting new ideas and fresh start and fresh information on things that we can do to be better. And so it's been really nice. I enjoyed it. What about you? What are you grateful for this morning? Awesome. Carla said, good morning from North Carolina. And she's grateful for her support system. Love it. It helps to have good people around us every day. Brent's grateful for his lunch opportunity today with a potential client. Love that, Brent. Didn't you have an appointment yesterday? How did that go? If I remember correctly. A showing, yes, went good, but no offer. Oh, that's okay. I always look at those as just opportunities to deepen that relationship with my client. So hopefully that's helped deepen that relationship some more. Nancy, good morning, Nancy. She's grateful she lives in abundance, a warm house, food to eat, family, and friends. That's awesome. Great. Oh, I love that, Brent. We're on the same page. Rachel's grateful that we didn't have any damage from the storm last night and power came back on around 2 a.m. Oh, no. I'm glad your power's back on, but I have been through that too many times to count. So I'm glad you're safe. Missy, grateful for a new listing. Yay, can't wait to hear more about that. Nancy, back to your comment. Sometimes we strive for more so much and like goal driven and things like that, that it's really important to stop and just be grateful for the little things that we take for granted every day. And I know, just little things like a warm house or maybe a cool house if you're in an area where it's warm, a car that runs. When those things get disrupted is when you're really like, oh man, I really miss those. Terry's grateful that she has been walking and getting in better shape. Terry, that's amazing. There's all the newest thing now is just walk, 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 which I love it because we all can do that. I'm glad to hear that's working for you. What else are you guys grateful for this morning? Let's see. Good morning from West Virginia. Good morning, Amanda. I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent my current clients that have put trust in me to help them navigate through the sale of their first home. Oh, that's awesome, Amanda. We love those first time buyers and first time sellers. Brent, safe travels yesterday and crazy traffic. I heard about this. I don't know where you were, but we had someone traveling up from Florida, I believe, and they said the traffic was horrendous. They had to actually stop in Nashville and take a break or something. So must have been from all the storms, I'm guessing. But I'm glad you're safe too. Awesome, guys. Now that our hearts are in a grateful mode, let's start with our affirmations too today. And if you're just now joining us, you could always drop something you're grateful for in the chat. So I believe everybody here is familiar with affirmations. I'm looking through your list, and yeah, I believe all you guys are familiar with how affirmations work. So let's just take some time and write out our affirmations today. I made mine a little longer this month, but still not mad. You did too, Terry. We must have been feeling ambitious. It's still not, it's not like 2 lines. As long as I don't go past 1 line, I feel like I'm doing good. I've had ones that were like almost 2 entire sentences before. That was hard. So, have any of you guys ever been to Louisville, Kentucky? Did or anything? A few. Have you been here since they've had a place called New Lou? Oh, Shalonda, your in-laws live here. I didn't know that. Cool. No, you haven't. Okay. Distillery. No, it's like a part of the town, I guess. It's almost like, I don't know. There's like shops and places like little boutiques and stuff, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been there yet, but I've heard several people talking about like, hey, we're gonna go check out Nulu. And I'm like, what's Nulu? So I was just asking if anybody was familiar to give us some pointers on like the best places to go eat or to visit. But we're definitely gonna go check it out. I'll let you guys know if it's a place worth visiting. And while we're writing out our affirmations, start thinking about who you want to write a note card to this week, your 2 note cards. Maybe not. You went when you're 18, 19, and 21. Yeah, I think it's newer for sure. You guys, I just graduated out of my other planner, starting a new one today. All right, so as you guys are getting closer to finishing up those affirmations, just drop a done or finished in the chat. I'm going to keep us moving along today since we do have a little bit of a brief training today talking about the customer service calls. So, as we move on to planning our day, what is the top thing you're going to accomplish today? What's your focus? What are you going to be intentional about today? I think for me today, since I'm going to be in a conference and obviously my brain is going to be absorbing a lot of information, I think I'm going to make my top goal today a physical one, because after sitting a lot yesterday, I just feel like, oh my gosh, I have to move. So I'm gonna make my goal to like get up and walk as much as possible today, walk around, not just sit the entire day. I'm not, I guess, I mean, I have days I sit all day, but just seemed excessive. Let's see what you guys got going on. So Nancy is meeting with a client to finalize details for their closing next week. Congrats on that, Nancy. Brent's getting caught up on admin emails tasks that have been hanging over me. Oh, I mean, those are things that you feel so good after they're done, but like working up to get to those sometimes can be a little challenging. But it's necessary, and you'll feel so much better when you're done with it, right? Terry has a lunch appointment. Awesome. What else are you guys focusing on today? It doesn't necessarily have to be an appointment. It could be an appointment with yourself. If you're just now joining us, we are working on finishing up our affirmations, planning our day, being intentional around what we're going to accomplish today. Let me ask you this question. How are your Ninja weekly tasks going? Have you gotten your real estate reviews done this week? Have you been recording those conversations and updating your database? And what we're going to talk about today is our customer service calls. Have you got those done this week? I'm going to move us on to writing our personal note cards. So make sure to write your 2 personal note cards today. Remember, don't include a business card. Keep it light. One thing I like to do, especially when I do conferences and things, is I like to try to write note cards to the people who put on the conference, like a thank you. It's a great way to connect with people. Also, any people that you meet at conferences, it's great to just follow up with a personal note card, ask them for their mailing address. So I'm going to be adding some of those people to my list. Just been connecting with some agents. One thing I like to do when I connect with agents this way is, hopefully maybe I'll have a referral for them. I just heard about something called a lifetime referral. Is anybody familiar with this? Maybe you people who live in areas where people relocate to a lot. You're familiar with this, but there's a girl I met here in Phoenix, Arizona, who owns a brokerage, and they do lifetime referrals where they pay you a 25% referral fee on the referral on any time they buy and sell in the future in their area. And then anyone they refer as well is connected to you. I thought that was pretty amazing. I've never heard that before, but I tell you what, if I have a referral to Phoenix, Arizona, I'm going to be thinking about that girl. Right? So that's something new I learned yesterday, talking with people. Yeah, it is. I mean, it would be a lot of tracking, I guess, but as long as you put it in your CRM, like your core referral source, I guess it wouldn't be too difficult to do. But, hey, it definitely sets them apart. Who are you guys writing your note cards to today? I was just thinking this too. You don't have to even mail your note card. You can hand it to someone. What about the person that does your nails or someone who is your hairdresser? Like the next time you go in for an appointment or a pedicure or whatever, um, give them a note card if you go to the same person, right? Just tell them you're thankful for them. I wonder how many of them actually get thank yous or appreciation notes. Maybe your personal banker, your kid's coach. So we don't even have to limit it to people that we have an address for. I've never actually done that. That just came to my mind, but I'm going to start doing that myself. Do you guys know who you're writing your note cards to today? Thanks for your honesty, Shalonda. Not yet. Well, maybe look at birthdays that are coming up or something to help you if you're stuck. Or Facebook or social media. Nancy's still doing her St. Patrick's cards to past clients. Love it. Only one, someone in my office who checks on me and offers support. I love that. Nicole from the title company. Awesome. Yeah, thank those closers. Thank those title reps. Missy has a closing today. Take the closer a note card telling them thank you. Love it. To your in-laws. Note cards to our mailman and water bottles to the Amazon delivery person during the hot, humid summer months. That's awesome idea. Yeah, the mailman. That's also whoever delivers your mail. Um, Such a great way to say you're appreciative. My mom taught me that. Like she always gives the mail carrier a Christmas card and things like that. I think that's pretty nice. I've known people to leave things out for their Amazon delivery or FedEx people. I'm sure they love that. I wonder how many steps they get a day. My gosh. I thought about that once. I'm like, they should wear a pedometer. See how many steps they get. Well, don't forget to review your hot and warm list. I actually had someone go off my hot list. So we had a couple that was looking and they decided to rent to put it on hold for a little bit. They just had a lot of personal things that arose and they have a wedding coming up in like a month and it was just too much. And I actually agreed with them. And they just weren't finding anything. It was like they would have to settle to get something. And she was so scared to call me. She felt so bad. And I mentioned to her, I'm like, and this is one of those things where we can really, it's not just about the transaction, right? It's about the relationship. And I told her, I said, your happiness is important to me. And I don't want to put you in a home just to put you in a home. I want to put you in a home that you're going to love, that isn't going to bring you negative surprises. And if that means waiting a little bit, that's fine. Like I think sometimes, especially young people need to hear that. And I was really actually, I told my husband, I was like, I'm so impressed that she called me. How many people do we have that just sever that relationship and don't even give you the courtesy of calling you and telling you personally? They text you or they just kind of ghost you, you know? So I was really impressed with this young lady that she picked up the phone. She had that hard conversation. At least it was hard on her end that she felt, and let me know. So I moved her from hot. I moved her down to warm, even though I know it might be a year or more. But I just really want to make sure I don't let her slip through the cracks. So I put her down to our warm list. So sometimes it's not always a forward move, right? Sometimes we have people that are moving back, and that's okay. So while you guys are finishing that up, I am going to start talking about our customer service calls, which is our Ninja Habit highlight for this week. And just for those of you who aren't familiar with the customer service calls, or maybe some of you are, I want to talk to you about why you do them. And we touched on this last time, but I kind of want to go a little deeper into the why. So first of all, how many of you are familiar with customer service calls and do them with your current clients? Oops. Natalie, yes. Okay, so maybe some of you don't do that right now. Not consistently, okay. All right, well, I do, but not consistently. I don't. Okay, great. Well, this will help you guys. I'm so excited. So, a customer service call, all it is, I do on Admin Wednesdays. Love it, Natalie. So, today is your customer service call day. Okay, great. Oh, this is going to be so good. So, why do we do these customer service calls? So, the main reason we do the customer service call is because when you're working with a client, so first of all, I maybe should have put these slides in a different order, but it's going to be your active clients that are currently listed in contract or currently looking for homes. So these are people who are under a buyer agreement, that you're currently looking for homes, or someone whose house is currently on the market. Okay. And what the purpose of the customer service call is and why we do it is because it helps you to have a touch point with them every week, to have that wonderful communication. And during that touch point, and I'm going to have Mark talk here in just a second because he is very, very consistent with this. And he does this every week, regardless of what's going on. If his listing had no showings and nothing happening, every Friday, I believe, is when he does it, he touches base with all of his clients. And it's not necessarily always a phone call. It depends. But the point of this is that you set the expectation with your client. So this shouldn't be something that takes them by surprise. It should be something that you have told them that you are going to do. And the reason you do this is because if there's any questions they have, any concerns they have, they start to learn to wait to that call. So it helps you to not have to filter through unnecessary calls throughout the week. Okay, so it also is a way to strengthen relationships. It's a way to build trust. That's not on this list, but it builds trust with you because if you do what you say you're going to do consistently, guess what? People will trust you, right? It makes you a leader in their life. We learned yesterday the ladder of, I forget what they call it. I think it's the ladder of leadership or something, but it starts off with, I wish I had it available. Oh, I do. Okay. But it starts off with when people start to work with you and when they book appointments with you. And I'm going to bring it up here real quick. But what I loved about it is it shows the steps that people take. So the first part, first they have to think you're authentic and caring, right? First, you're just a real estate agent. You're at ring one. People know you're a real estate agent. Then when they know that you're authentic and caring, they're like, oh, they're not just a real estate agent, they're a person, right? Then when they know you're knowledgeable, right? Then that's when they are like, you know what? I could I could potentially use that person. I think I would call them when I need to buy or sell. Then you get to the leader. That's when they want to join you. It's like that partnership of that's when, you get to the place where you guys are in a contract together, whether it's listing, buyer appointment, whatever. But when you start to get past that, they call it the dream manager. When you start to become more to that person than just a transaction, that is where they never leave you. They're loyal to you. They could have 15 other agents call them and they will say, no, I'm working with Rachel, or I'm working with Terry, or, Carla is my realtor. Natalie is the one I work with, right? That's where you get to that place of being their trusted advisor. And that is earned, guys. It's not something that you just start doing and because you close a house. Any realtor can do that. If you want to earn people, if you want to earn that place in their life, you have to show up. You have to do things consistently. And I see a lot of the not consistent, not consistent. So I'm gonna give Mark a minute because I want him to share what he does. Mark, can you unmute?
Good morning.
Good morning. So I just want you, I mean, it's just like a little role play. I'm your client, you're calling me. What's that sound like? What's it look like? And then add whatever you want into what we're talking about.
Well, normally it'd be something like I always like it's like ring ring that people answer.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how's it going? So if we're talking from a buyer perspective, so I would just touch base and it depends if I've seen anything like if we looked at properties that week or if we didn't look at properties that week because nothing actually became available that fits their actual criteria. So let's say that we didn't see anything this week. I would just reiterate, hey, I'm just following up, as always. I always like to touch base before we head in because I usually do mine on Friday. So I usually touch base heading into to the weekend. I know we haven't seen anything this coming weekend, I mean this week, but as we roll into the weekend, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. If there's any properties that catches your eye and you want more information, please contact me so I can research on them. Do you currently have any questions before we go into the weekend?
No, not right now, Mark.
Okay, well, perfect. And well, if you do, then after that, I usually just kind of drop in and say, do you have any plans for the weekend? So then I can just try to gather what they're doing. Like, hey, if I'm going to a festival, what kind of festival? So then I start asking questions. I want to say, Ford, you do those processes, but it's almost the same thing. Like I'm asking questions about what their expectations are of their events that they're planning on going to. It's like you're digging into it, but and it might be something that triggers in you that you're like, hey, I might want to try that someday, or hey, it might be something that you can relate with. So it's just allowing people to kind of share because some people get really excited about what they're doing for the weekend or just the week, whatever, whenever you make the phone call. But at the end of the day, it's like you're building rapport. You're reminding them at the same time that touch a base as always on Friday or whatever day it is.
We lost you, babe. Mark,
I would say
you
that
went
you actually.
out. We didn't hear you for a minute there. Can you go back?
Oh, which where did I cut off at? That's kind of weird.
I don't know. I
All
think
I'm saying is that when you
it,
actually call and you're
yeah.
talking to them and if there is no properties, you want to make sure that you say, hey, I looked, I didn't see anything that fit criteria. Hey, I saw a couple things that did look almost potential, but it just wasn't worth a phone call or contacting you to discuss.
Yeah.
Um, and then, like I said, when they go into the weekend, if they have some type of event coming on, I try to gather information about what's the event all about because a couple of reasons. One, I could actually maybe something I want to do, or two, it's just like you're just taking part of what's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I hang up, like I said, don't I already reiterate if you see anything over the weekend or if any other information comes up that you want more on, don't hesitate to reach out to me so I can research it for you. So, um, and
Love
pretty
it.
much that's it. But I do it
And
every
then
week.
And for the listing side, I love what Missy said too. She said, doing customer service calls has strengthened my relationships with my clients. They see that they are important to her. And most clients know she's busy, but they are so thankful that she calls them weekly and eliminates the thought that she doesn't have time for them. She goes, 30 minutes one time a week solves everything. And that 30 minutes is spent calling all of the people. That's not just one phone call. And what I will add too is it also gives you a chance to hear, especially on the listing side, if there's discontent starting to brew. So if you
Correct.
start talking to people and you feel that little bit of twinge of like, they're feeling a little discontent, you can address it. You don't let it linger, you don't let it fester, and that's the part that is, I think, a lot of agents try to shy away from, is they don't want to have those hard conversations. But when you start to see that, you can say, hey, I know we have, especially when there's no activity. I know we're not having activity. This is what I'm doing. How do you feel about this? Where are you sitting? I think it's time we relook at the market, or I think it's time that we have a conversation about price, all those things. Same, buyers get frustrated too. And if you're not talking to them, they feel like my agent isn't doing anything. That's when all those negative thoughts start to creep in their mind. But when you are reminding them every week that I'm showing up for you, I've done this week, I haven't seen anything, I've checked, these different places, whatever it is, it gives them a reassurance, right? So I think that if that's one of the, if listen, that's the easiest one to start with. That's the easiest, in my opinion, of the Ninja Weekly habits to start with. And it is so impactful. So impactful. So I know we are right past 8 o'clock. Hopefully, you guys found this helpful. Missy said she uses her dialer. It's so easy. And for buyers, they can get frustrated, but you don't know if you aren't talking to them. That's right. If you're not having those conversations, you're letting their mind control what's happening in the direction things are going. Yep. So it is so important, you guys, to do those customer service calls. This is my first day joining you all on this call. Really enjoyed it. Oh, Amanda, welcome. So glad you can join us. I hope that you continue to join us. We will be back tomorrow morning. And what's awesome about showing up for the call, guys, is you got your Ninja Day, your daily activities done. They're checked off your list. Amanda, if you join us tomorrow and you need more insight on what the Ninja Daily Habits are, I can go deeper into that for you guys tomorrow. Thank you, guys. I'm looking forward to the conference today, too. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:30. Have a great day.